Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be taking 25 of your favourite or maybe even least favourite guitar shapes and I'm going to be ranking them in a tier list. The tiers range all the way up to God tier and all the way down to wouldn't even play Wonderwall on it.
Oh look, he's made a guitar joke, oh!
Keep in mind for this tier list, I'm ranking this based on shape alone. I'm very aware that the hardware of some of these guitars are far superior and therefore if we were ranking it based on that, they'd be far higher up on this list, but we're not. We're doing shape. Without further ado, let us begin. Alright, what have we got here first? Well, number one, we've got the Stratocaster. Fine. If I asked you to picture an electric guitar, chances are you're probably thinking of one of these. They're a timeless design. It's solid. There's, you can't go far wrong with one of these. I think the one thing I'd say is default skin.
Hello there.
There's loads of guitars out there and you pick this one. I mean, that's not a wrong move, but there are more interesting guitar shapes out there. So because of that, our first entry to this list is going in great tier.
Yes!
Alright, and what have we got next? We've got a Les Paul. Look, when I asked you to picture an electric guitar and you didn't picture a Stratocaster, then I can only assume you pictured a Les Paul. Like the Strat, this thing's timeless. It's been around for ages. The old ones are fantastic, the new ones not so much. Famous artists such as Slash and Slash own these, and they're pretty solid. And by solid, I mean freaking heavy. But look, it's a solid pick. You can't go far wrong with these. All I would say is if you are going to go for one, try and go for an older one. Solid tier. Okay, number 3, here we are. We've got the Mustang. Fine. This is the first of a few guitars on this list that are named after classic American cars. Look, it's a solid design. It clearly takes a lot of inspiration from the Strat, but it's a bit wide. Look, I think if you've got one of these, you either really like Kurt Cobain or you got confused on your way to buy a Strat. Look, it's alright. It's going in solid tier though.
Yeah!
Oh, we've got number 4. This is the Telecaster. This is the Strat's cooler cousin. Design-wise, like the Strat, it's been around for ages, and you find them in basically every genre, from country, rock, pop, metal. I mean, even Mr. Gimp Mask Man from Slipknot's got one, so they're everywhere. They're a great-looking guitar, and I heard you're really cool if you've got a thin-line one with humbuckers. I don't know who told me that though. Either way, this is the first entry to God tier. Okay, number 5, here we are. This is the ES series. Look, when I prepared this list, I showed the list to my housemate who doesn't play guitar to get like a sort of a neutral opinion, and the first thing he said about this one was, it feels like every rock band's got one of these, and when he said that, he's not wrong. Yeah, these are everywhere, especially in the Foo Fighters, I suppose. That's the first band that I think of. But yeah, look, it's a solid design. It's symmetrical. It's got some classic inspirations there with the the hollow body, with the sound holes taken from a violin. It's pretty good. You can't go far wrong with this. It is a bit big, so just keep that in mind. But apart from that, pretty good. Yeah, look, if you own one of these, I respect you. It's going in great tier. Number 6. Yeah, I'd understand if you're thinking, hold on a minute, Stephen. We've already ranked this one. This is the Eclipse. This is an edgy take on the Les Paul with all the character sandblasted off. If I had to choose between this and the Les Paul, I'm going for the Les Paul. And I sound harsh, I actually own one of these. Yeah, hardware-wise, these things are pretty great, but we're going on shape here, and this guitar looks quite soulless. So it's going to sit in distinctly average for me. Okay, we're on to number 7. This is the Jazzmaster. It's a nice little wild card choice. If you're sick of the Tele or the Strat combo that you normally find. But if you find yourself joining an indie / shoegaze / bedroom pop band, then someone in the room or you will have one. Look, I quite like the design, so it's going in solid tier. But I realised that at this stage, I could have said anything I want about this guitar because the Jazzmaster owners out there are still trying to figure out what the switches do.
What does this button do?
Right, okay, this is the 8th entry here. This is the SG. This is a weird one for me. I feel like with this guitar, Les Paul owners were like, I like it, but I wish it was more horny. Yeah, look, okay, fine. It's got more horns, but the overall design doesn't sit right with me. The body feels too small, the headstock is too big. It's just all out of proportion with itself. I mean, if you have one, then I guess... Does AC/DC mean anything to you? It probably does. But yeah, look, the design, I know the heritage behind it. It's a classic look, but it doesn't sit right with me. So to distinctly average it goes.
My name's Brian, not Bryn.
Alright, number 9. This is probably going to make me a few enemies after what I've just done to the SG. This is the Firebird. Look, this is another one of the guitars that are named after a classic car, and there are many reasons why I shouldn't like this guitar, but I do. It's just got the classic rock and roll feel that I've got a soft spot for. Hardware wise, I know the humbuckers are a bit weird and the tuning pegs are rubbish, but I really like this guitar, and so therefore this one's going to sit in great tier for me. Right, okay, number 10. Oh. Well, on the flip side, however, this guitar, the Explorer, no, it's trying too hard. This is like the edgy cousin of the Firebird. I guess if you have one of these, James Hetfield mean anything to you? Probably does. It's strange. It's all really spiky in the body, and then the headstock really isn't. Doesn't work for me. Not for me, mate. Distinctly average it goes. Number 11. Okay, this is the Super Strat. Yeah, look, I've mentioned before that the Strat shape is it's a timeless classic. You can't go far wrong with it. And this shape sort of puts on a modern twist to it, and I quite like it. It's a solid guitar shape, and you can't go far wrong. There you go. Solid tier it goes.
Oh my.
Right, here we are, number 12. This is the it's the Flying V. I'll level with you guys. I don't like this thing at all. It's trying too hard. It falls in roughly the same category as the Explorer. This thing looks ridiculous unless you're in Steel Panther, and if I was in Steel Panther, I'd just opt for a Super Strat that we've just had. So Also, I know I'm dipping into the hardware side of things here, but if you fit a Floyd Rose to these things, it's game over. Aside from the hardware issues, which shouldn't really influence it, but I hate this shape. It's going in subpar. Number 13, alright, okay, this is the PRS. This is in particular, I believe it's the Custom 22 shape. Look, this design's been around for ages. In fact, I think this is probably one of their first designs, and it's stuck around. It's a great looking guitar. The finishes are often fantastic, and who doesn't like the bird inlays? I like them. Now, unfortunately, I do suffer from a disease known as PRS-OS, which stands for Paul Reed Smith Ownership Syndrome. And so because of that, this is another entry into God tier. You can call me biased all you want, but I mean, come on, who doesn't love the birds? Who doesn't love the birds? It's great. It's a great looking guitar. Oh dear. What a fall from grace. This is number 14, and I'm beginning to sense a downhill spiral here. This is the Warlock. Oh god, this thing just looks horrible. Why would you buy this? If you genuinely like the look of this monstrosity, then I can only imagine that you either exclusively play Guitar Hero, or you have a Slayer shrine in your living room, or you're 7. I can't think of any other reason. There's no excuse to be buying guitars that look like this in 2021, and you wouldn't find me playing Wonderwall on it anytime soon. So Wonderwall tier it goes.
This is unacceptable!
Oh boy, this is the Mockingbird. It's rough. This thing looks like it's been out in the sun and it's melted a bit. Yeah, look, when I showed this guitar to my housemate, he said it looked like a sex toy, and the moment he said that, I can't unsee it. And that's pretty damning if you ask me, and perfectly justifiable for being placed in subpar. Mockingbird, more like mocking turd. Oh dear, yeah, subpar it goes. Go away. Okay, number 16, here we are. Yeah, this is the Cadillac, and I hope we can learn an important lesson here, that just because you name a guitar after a classic American car doesn't make it any good. First of all, why you saw the need to throw a mini Flying V on as the headstock is beyond me. It's just horrible. Why would you do that? I like the commitment to the bottom spike, that's pretty out there, but what happened at the top? I feel like you ran out of wood or something? It just doesn't look finished, and out of spite of it reminding me of the Flying V, it's going to go in subpar as well. Oh boy, here we are. This is number 17, this is the ML series, and look, I understand the heritage of this guitar, and I also completely appreciate that there is a very famous guitarist that had one of these, and it is well loved and well respected, and when they were playing it, it was fine. But shape-wise, this thing is atrocious. Why on earth would you buy this? This is like a weird starfish that's missing 2 legs. I hate it. I'm struggling to think of a reason why you'd buy one of these. Maybe if you're stuck in the 80s, and if you are stuck in the 80s, please kindly stay there and take your weird starfish thing with you. You couldn't pay me to play Wonderwall on this thing. Okay, number 18. This is the Electromatic from Gretsch. Finally, a normal looking guitar. Yeah, it looks like an inflated Les Paul, which isn't a bad thing, and it's got the decoration, the classic look of the ES series, which again isn't a bad thing. It's not, you know, the most outlandish, and the design's been done before, but it's not bad. It's a classic take on a classic shape, and for that reason, yeah, it's going in solid tier.
Too jazzy?
Yeah.
Right, number 19, let's see what we've got. Right, who made this? What is this? Was this a joke? This is the split tail apparently, and I have no idea why they combined half a Flying V with half an SG and then stuck a mini Flying V on as the headstock. I hate it. This is horrible. Why on earth would you buy this? There's nothing redeemable about this guitar, so it's going to get its own poo tier to sit in, and it can go there and think about what it's done. Number 20, alright. This is the Iceman by Ibanez. Look, I think this guitar had some real potential to look really unique, and I suppose in that aspect it did succeed, but what possessed Ibanez to put a penis on it? Am I the only one who sees that? How did that make it past quality control? Thanks to that, the Wangcaster is going in, yeah, it can sit in subpar.
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
Hello?
Number 21. Okay, we're returning to some sort of semblance of sane humanity. This is the Revstar. Yeah, I don't mind this design. It feels like it looks like a melted SG, but it works. It's in proportion with itself. There's nothing too crazy going on with the shape. It's symmetrical. It's clean. It's not trying very hard to impress. In fact, I'm not sure it's trying at all. If the guitar was a human, it'd own a Toyota Prius. It's not necessarily the worst option, but it's far from the best option. It can sit in average. Okay, number 22, here we are. This is the Majesty Ernie Ball. Yeah, this is a pretty wild looking guitar, fairly modern looking. Yeah, weirdly, I was curious with this guitar because I normally only see YouTubers or guitar veterans playing this, and I had a look, and yeah, this thing costs the same as a car, so that's probably why.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
The shape's a bit out there for me. The top horn just throws me off. The rest of it's fine. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, look, I'll give them credit for trying to be different, but that combined with the price tag, yeah, it can sit in average. Oh boy, this is number 23. This is the Parker Fly from Parker Guitars. Heard of them? I hadn't. Okay, I'll preface this by saying that there is a particular guitar with a handle built in. Looking at you, Steve Vai, until I saw this guitar, I was all too willing to rag on your design. But no, I saw this one, and actually your design's it's actually alright in comparison. What's going on here? It feels like you had some extra wood and you just bolted it onto the top. It just looks wrong. It looks out of place, and and that combined with some many more fundamental reasons, I'm sure, is probably why we don't see too many of these. In fact, I don't think I've seen one of these in real life. Yeah, I'm not playing Wonderwall on this thing.
Calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Okay, number 24. We've got a headless guitar. Out of all of them that I could have picked, I picked a Goliath by Ormsby Guitars, and oh boy, there's a lot to unpack here. Look, I think headless guitars, as a concept, not sure. Feels like you've solved a problem that precisely no one had. I guess they're easier to travel with. I don't know if they're any more comfortable to play. I'm not sure. I mean, this one certainly doesn't look it. There's an awful lot going on with this shape. I feel the purple colour is throwing me off here because I feel like it's fallen out of a Halo game. But yeah, there's just so much going on here, and I'm not sure I like it. But I sort of respect the ballsiness for trying to be different. So yeah, it can go in average for me.
How can you be nearly headless?
Like this.
Okay. Finally, this is the last guitar on this list, you'll be pleased to know. This is the 300 series from Rickenbacker. Look, I'm probably going to make a lot of enemies from my decision here, and yeah, I know. I'm aware of the heritage of this guitar. I know that the Beatles had them. I know they've been around for ages. I know Scott Pilgrim had a bass made by Rickenbacker. Something just doesn't feel right with this guitar though. It's just out of proportion. I'm not a fan of the nylon acoustic headstock that it's got, and the body's just massive. Why is it that big? Why? The proportions are all off. It looks like a jazzy Pac-Man, and not in a good way. I can't imagine this thing is very comfortable to play, and it's not for me. It can go in average though. I'll let you have it in average. There you are. And there we are, folks. We've made it to the end of the electric guitar shaped tier list for 2021. I'm aware that I didn't cover all shapes, but those are the ones that I could come up with when I was preparing the list. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, leave a like, subscribe to stick around, and feel free to join the absolute war zone I can only imagine the comment section is going to look like. If you really disagree with me, or you just fancy making your own tier list, then I've left the template that I created for this video in the description. Feel free to go away, make your own, and send it across to me. I'd love to see what your thoughts are. But until then, goodbye.